Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? This is Gregory Wiles with his inspirational morning walk. Gregory Wiles with his inspirational morning walk. It's another beautiful day here in Houston, Texas. It's another beautiful day in Houston, Texas. It's nice and cool, so I can get to enjoy my walk. Miss Michelle Sparks Cadogan, how are you doing today? Hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are. This is Gregory Wiles with this inspirational morning walk. For the first time listeners, I just get some exercise in the morning and I just share my thoughts and just give you some words of inspiration that can get your day started. Get your day started off. Thank you, Michelle. It's a great day here in Houston. Yeah, so I just share some thoughts as I'm walking. So if you hear me breathing hard sometimes, it's because I'm getting my exercise in, getting my day started, get that blood flowing so I can think better to go and take on the day. And I can just drop some words of inspiration while I get my day going. But good morning to all. Once again, if you missed anything or if you're listening for the first time, Mr. Keith Tellman, how are you doing? How are you doing today, Keith? Hope all is well there in Guyana. Jillian, big sis, how are you doing? Hope all is great there in New York with you guys. Hope you guys have some good weather there. All right, Keith. Good morning, Keith. All is well in GT there. Hope everything is settled. I was looking in the news and I see yesterday they had the funeral for those guys. Miss Renita Dewsbury, how are you doing today? Hope you guys having a great day. Hope you guys having a great day. It's a great day here with me. Hope you guys got some laughter over the weekend that we talk about on Friday. Get you a good laughter. Get some good laugh in and come energized for this week. Energized for this week. I did. I was watching something funny on the internet last night and I get my good laugh. So I'm fully energized and ready to take on today. All right, guys. So all is well, Keith. That's good. All is well. Glad to hear. All right, so let me jump right into it today. Today, what I want to talk about, what I'm inspired to talk about is mistakes versus bad decisions, right? Mistakes versus bad decisions. Too often I see people, first let's get in a definition what a mistake is, right? A mistake is defined as an action or judgment that is misguided or wrong, right? Action or a judgment that is misguided or wrong. So it's a judgment call. You make a judgment based on whatever information you have, and then it turned out that, that wasn't the best decision to make at the time, right? Or you get misguided. Someone gives you some bad information and you make a decision based on the information you get and then turn out not to be the right thing to do at that particular time, or you just did something that was wrong. But the difference is, Stessa Hunt, good morning, hope you're having a great day. But the difference is if you do something that you did not know or just make a judgment, that's a mistake, right? That's a mistake. You didn't know better. But if you continue, that mistake now could turn into a bad decision. If you know now what you did was wrong, you know the result you got, what you did, and you continue to do it anyhow, right? That's making bad decisions, right? Or sometimes a mistake is like you making a recipe, right? You got a recipe. Oh, I forget to put the baking powder in this recipe, and this whatever you're making didn't turn out properly. Oh, that's a mistake. You forget to do that. Or the people who hiring people, people come in front of them and dress up their resume and tell them all kind of lies, and they make a judgment call based on what they're hearing or what they're seeing in front of them. Boom, and it turned out not to be the best decision. That's a mistake. You make a decision based on what you had in front of you, right? So, but bad decisions, if you know something is wrong. Dexter Wiles, good morning. How are you doing? Thanks for catching me live today. So if you're doing something that you know is wrong, it cannot be counted as a mistake, right? If you got knowledge, you're doing something, you know it's wrong, probably it's against the law, probably it's morally wrong, and you're doing it anyhow, you can't say, you know what, I made a mistake. So too often I see, the people, celebrities, politicians, they get catch cheating the taxes, and they might come on television and tell all of us, oh, I made a mistake. I want to ask for forgiveness. Oh yeah, you'll be forgiven. Forgiveness is not the issue, right? But if you make a bad decisions, people too, a lot of them might be unfaithful in the relationship and then just come up and say, oh, I made a mistake. No, you know that was wrong. It's a bad decision you make, right? But the point is, when you come and ask for forgiveness, forgiveness is not the issue. We have to forgive, right? We have to forgive. But it's for you personally. If you look at that thing as a mistake, right, you're likely to repeat it again. Because you are not accepting that this is a bad decision. You just say, oh, it's a mistake. And what's the definition of a mistake? A judgment that is misguided or wrong. I mean, you didn't know better and you did what you did, right? You didn't know better, so it's a mistake. Oh, I could correct that. But if it's a bad decision, something that you know to your heart was wrong, you're breaking the law, you're breaking vows, you're breaking stuff, and you know that is wrong, you can't say it's a mistake because you're impeding your own progress of moving forward, of correcting that. But if you accept, you know what, this is a bad decision I made. This was a bad decision. I know better. I should not have done this. Then you can look and see what caused you to make that bad mistake, that make that bad decision. Because there's many things that can cause that. And, you know, if I get led one day, we can go a little deeper into things that can cause us to continuously make bad decisions, right? But if you accept this as a bad decision now you can go on and see what caused you to do that and try to correct it, right? And if you go into forgiveness to God or to man, someone, you did something, and if you do not, your forgiveness could be in jeopardy if you say I made a mistake versus, you know what, I made a bad decision, guys. So I just want to make sure to clear between a mistake and a bad decision. You got to accept it if it's a bad decision. Breaking the law, you know something is wrong and you do it anyhow, that's a bad decision. You know, when I used to read in the Bible at first, and I used to read about the Israelites, and you know, they get so much of punishment, God tell them not to do this, not to do this, and you know what, they go right, and you say, man, what happened to these people? What happened to them? God just told them not to do this, and they went right and do it, and now they get punished, all this punishment to bring on themselves. But when I look at us right here on earth, all the things that we repeatedly doing, man, we're those Israelites. We're repeatedly doing a lot of things that we know we should not have done. So we can't look and criticize them. And it looks, when we're reading it, it looks so terrible, right? Because they just get this information, not to do this, not to do this, follow these laws, and they go and do something else and cause a lot of destruction on themselves. We cannot judge them here. We cannot, because we're doing the same thing. I guess it's the same way God looking at us and saying, man, look, I tell these people not to do this. Look, they got all the laws. They just come out to church and hearing this is wrong. And look what they're going to do, the same thing over. So we can't judge them, right? We can't judge them. But we just got to accept when we make a bad decision and don't pass it off as a mistake, right? A mistake is something different. Mistake is something you don't know. I make a mistake, I correct it, and I move on. And they're saying, you know, the definition for insanity is continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. So if you know there's a mistake I made before, don't go and repeat it again. Learn from it and move on, right? Learn from it and move on. So let's get into some quotes of some mistakes, some quotes about mistakes, right? They say, while one person hesitates because he feels inferior, the other is busy making mistakes and becoming superior, right? So mistakes are a part of the growth process. Mistakes, Stephen A. Adams, thank you for watching. Mr. Brenton Hamlet, thank you for watching. So mistakes are a part of our growth process, right? And just be careful how you handle mistakes. If you, you know, with your employees, your children, whoever it is, because mistakes is a part of the growth process. And we can't expect perfection from no one, because none of us are perfect, right? We should learn from our mistakes. So the saying, while some people busy, while one person hesitates because he feels inferior, the other is busy making mistakes and becoming superior, right? It's a mistake only prove that someone has stopped taking long enough to do something, right? So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you're doing something, you're going for greatness, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes is a part of our growth process, right? And they said, The difference between greatness and mediocrity is often how an individual views a mistake, right? How an individual view a mistake. If you make a mistake and you, Karen McCann, thank you for checking in. If you make a mistake and you just decide, okay, you know, this is a mistake, I understand what I did wrong, I correct this and I move on, don't get timid. And if you're with your children, if you hard on them because they made a mistake, you could cause them to be timid. You could cause them to be fear. You could bring the spirit of fear in them because they're trying to be perfect in everything they're doing. They're overthinking it. They want to make sure to get it right, to get it perfect. And you get them nervous. You get them scared now. And they're liable to make a whole bunch more mistakes because they're not comfortable, right? I see that in the youth sports. I'm into youth sports a lot right now, and I know a lot of parents investing a lot of time in the kids, and they're trying to get them scholarships and all the good stuff, which is great. But they're so tough on them and hard and want them to be perfect every time they go on the field or that pitch or that court or whatever, in the pool to swim. They want them to be so perfect, and you know, to stress the kid out. And that sport or whatever they're doing is not fun anymore, right? It's not fun anymore. So just be careful how we handling mistakes, right? Just be careful how we handling mistakes, right? Mistakes is a part of our growth process. This story, it's often told in management, at the higher level in management. Some of you who are in higher level management or management might have heard this. It's a famous one with the $10 million mistake, the $10 million mistake. This CFO, the financially, took on a very risky project in his job, and he took it on bravely, went into it, you know, did all you know to do about it, but the project failed, and he cost his company $10 million, right? He cost his company $10 million. My neighbor, Mr. David, how are you doing today? Hope all is well. So he cost the company $10 million, and then the CFO, the CEO said, hey man, John, come to my office, I want to talk to you. John said, you know what, you know, you don't have to fire me. I'll give you my resignation. I know I screwed up big time. I'll give you my resignation. You don't have to fire me. The man said, what? This company just invested $10 million into your education, and that's how you're going to repay us, by quitting? And he was surprised. He said, you're not going to fire me? I just cost the company $10 million. He said, no, for what? You learn a valuable lesson there. That mistake, I know you took on a project and you failed at it. You did everything you know how and you failed, but I know you learned lessons from that. So the next $100 million project I know you take on, I know you're going to succeed at it because of all the mistakes you make here. I know you're going to clean it up and you're going to go on and you're going to make us proud. Now you see how the boss handled that. That man sure went on to do great things and make that company proud and make them a lot of money in the future. But if he had fired him, now that person with great ideas who want to do great things might be timid and scared the next time they go. They're just trying to play it safe, not trying to do anything risky, not trying to take any chances, just trying to play it safe, and can limit what their abilities, because they're just trying to play it safe and they don't want to make a mistake no more. So just be careful. Same thing goes with our employees. Encourage them if you know it's a mistake. But remember, if it's a bad decision, you treat it differently than how you treat a mistake, right? Bad decision is a bad decision. You got knowledge, you do something that you know is wrong. That's not a mistake. A mistake is you don't know this stuff is wrong and you did it, then you found out after that was not the right thing to do, guys. So I just want to leave you with one little quick scripture here. Is James 3:2. James 3:2. This was talking about taming the tongue. This was really talking about taming the tongue. So hear what he said here. He said, indeed, we all make many mistakes. For if we could control our tongues, we would be perfect and could also control ourselves in every other way, right? So he said, indeed, we all make mistakes, right? For if we can control our tongues, we would be perfect and could also control ourselves in every area of life. So he's just saying, you know, if we could control our tongue, that's the hardest part of to control, right? So he's saying we can make mistakes, and he just used that. If we can control our tongue, we can control all areas of our life. So he's saying we're going to make mistakes along the way. We're going to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't go afraid to take some chances. Don't go be afraid to reach to your greatness and just trying to play it safe. Go out, make mistakes, learn from it, and grow. But don't disguise a mistake as a bad decision. A bad decision as a mistake. You know better, you do better. If you continue to do the same thing and expect a different result, that is the definition for insanity, guys. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day. Don't be afraid to go to make mistakes. But also, if you know better, do better. Just minimize those bad decisions that we'll make along the way, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk again on Wednesday.